They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Freeman again, a first down carry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Working from the gun, Keenum. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. From the gun, it's Keenum. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how we wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Here's Lauletta after the interception. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Khalil Mack in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now the rookie from NC State, this is Nyheim Hines. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. This is 3rd and long. Here's Lauletta. And this is going to be incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Fielded just inside the 20. He will not go down.
Now to retake those ankles.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. Buying time to his left. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum. He finds his man, Baldwin. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Baldwin's first catch going to be good enough for a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now it's Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Yeah, that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but, boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? Shotgun snap for Keenum, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Lawletta. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Jordan Evans coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now it's Hines. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Lawletta to throw. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
It's caught left side by Cooks. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Well, the former LSU Tiger, Dante Jackson, on the stop. Now Keenum throwing on second. And his throw is incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And it's third down.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
The Seahawks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Keenum. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the end zone, Laletta. It's complete to Parker, left side. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. 1st down. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. This is Hines, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, here's Lauletta. And he's got his target. That's Moore. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year, and it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's Lauletta now on 2nd. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run with Hines. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Hines. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing on 3rd down, Lauletta. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On play action, it's Keenum. Under a rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Well, he tried to get rid of it. Pressure was coming right in his face, and it turned out to be a bad thing.
And it's so easy to be critical of him in that spot, but when you have all those people bearing down on you, probably his last thought was just get rid of the ball, give them what they want. Unfortunately, he gave it to them too well. Picked it off, ran it back for a touchdown.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Keenum. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Charles Tapper in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now out comes Minnesota. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different...
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Stephon Tuitt in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Lauletta looking to throw on 2nd down. Ebron caught left side. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Lauletta on 1st down. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now it's Lauletta. Looking deep here for Ebron. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lauletta. Now he's flushed, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Cliff Averill able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Right back to him on 1st down. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 50, it's Keenum. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
Oh, you mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Now, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And now out comes Minnesota. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they try the right side here. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They run again with Hines. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. It'll be a gain of 11, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Detroit!
Now here's Lauletta. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, One of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Let's go, let's go.
To throw on 2nd down is Keenum. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And he's got Moncrief. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a 1st down. Keenum now just 6 of 15 through the air. Not good, but 1st and 10 here. On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Keenum to throw on 2nd down. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Keenum. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Keenum now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Keenum. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Charles Tapper in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Out of the gun, Keenum. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Jalen Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Now Keenum. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Shotgun snap for Keenum. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Yeah, we're good, we're good.
Now Keenum got to have this one. And that is incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Gone, 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 gone.
On 3rd down, it's Hines. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Following the fumble recovery, Keenum. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Keenum now on 1st down. This pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Let's go, let's go. Run! My queen!
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Devontae Freeman hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. Zerline connects on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 51 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's first and 10 just outside the red zone. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Defensively, Harrison Phillips there to stop him. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Loletta. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Rashawn Melvin. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Freeman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through three quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also on third down, Devontae Freeman. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be fourth down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball. Hut!
And they take a knee. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Vikings, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.